Hey guys, yeah, I recorded this review and then realized that an E with that kind of accent means you pronounce it A, not E, and I said Devonte like a fucking idiot, even though it's clearly Devonte, so I apologize for being a dumbass. Blood Orange is the moniker under which Devonte Hines has been making music for the past 7 years, ever since his 2011 debut, Coastal Grooves, and he's been involved in a number of different musical projects throughout the years that I've honestly missed out on, but he has been in the scene for quite some time. However, I've not gotten much out of his work under this name other than a few great singles. I feel like he rarely pulls through with a project that keeps me engaged consistently the entire way through. I mean, from Coastal Grooves to Cupid Deluxe to Freetown Sound. I did enjoy a good amount of moments on Freetown Sound, though I feel like his passion for social justice and desire for equality really showed through in a way that felt very genuine on that project. For the most part, I do think that this album shows off a more fleshed out version of his production style. These songs are lavishly produced with influences from synth funk and jazz and soul, with shimmering keys and breezy guitars and saxophones, some crisp snares and hi-hats, and a lot of vocal layering and reverb that I think complements his falsetto in a really gorgeous way. There are also quite a lot of vocal features that I think complement the production effectively most of the time, and a lot of spoken word from Janet Mock about kind of the different shit that minorities deal with in just trying to be themselves on a day-to-day basis. Things like being hyper aware of people who just want you to blend in or think you're too much and showing up for yourself, and the fact that you can create your family and you don't have to be limited by who you're biologically related to if they don't accept you. Getting into some highlights, Saint right off the bat is an exquisitely layered track with soft synthetic piano, some snare and hi-hat grooves, a horn which gives it kind of a jazzy touch, and 4 vocal guests which I feel like come together really harmoniously. If I were to complain about something though, I do wish that Devonte sounded a little bit more passionate in the hook, but I like the fact that this is pretty simple lyrically, just describing the beauty of being black, and it's on the positive side of the album's song topics. And then moving forward, Hope is a pretty mellow, jazzy cut with a delicate vocal inflection from Tai Shi, and then a more laid-back approach from Diddy, which is about the initial panic in diving into love with someone new, but also the anticipation for it and passion for this new person in your life. And I like Orlando as the opening cut too, with its clattering drum and synth grooves and the sunshiny electro piano and guitar and horn. It's got kind of a funky edge to it, and I like the switch up at the end of this track as well, and lyrically this delves into Dev's past and growing up feeling different from everyone else and bullying and how that's kind of affected him even to this day. Jewelry is another one of those cuts with a darker edge about how you can build up all of this positivity and then just turn around and destroy the hope that you've created, and how difficult it can be to maintain that mindset. And Devonte is kind of bordering on spoken word here with a very subdued performance. The chorus uses these metaphors comparing the brilliant shine of jewelry to black skin to juxtapose that, and returns to the elegant falsetto and jazzy style of production. It concludes with the second verse about acceptance that you're going to be seen as different and finding peace within that, alongside lo-fi guitars, which complements Janet Mock's intro super well. Charcoal Baby has some of the most fleshed out production of the whole album, with a beautiful extended outro. Run-In is one of the more pained cuts, delving into the toll that loss and oppression can take on you after living with it for a long time. It's backed by a kick drum and snare groove, some delicate guitars, and an especially impressive and soulful vocal performance from Georgia Ann Muldrow. And I like where the instrumentation freaks out at the end of Nappy Wonder, an otherwise pretty minimal cut. I think it was tastefully placed. The only problem I have with this is that the hook feels kind of repetitive and weak to me, and this doesn't mean that the album is without its shortcomings. I like most of the ideas on Chewing Gum. I think it has one of the most vivid drum grooves. I think that all of the vocal inflections are in near perfect harmony with each other, and it paints a pretty vivid picture of feeling so defeated and exhausted in this constant fight for equality. But A$AP Rocky's verse feels so out of place. Apparently some of the vulgar parts are supposed to be like metaphors for the recklessness that results from feeling so defeated, but it seems like kind of a stretch to me, and I wouldn't have been able to take that away from it had I not read into it. Holy Will unfortunately feels like wasted potential to me. I like the gospel influence and the idea behind this, but it kind of breaks up the flow of the album. The verses and the chorus don't really work together very harmoniously, and it just feels very disjumbled and awkward. Dev kind of hits a few notes poorly too. The album is kind of bloated too, and it reuses the same ideas, but I came away from it enjoying most of the ideas and how they played out. It shows that Blood Orange is kind of on an uphill streak, and I'm excited to see what he has coming down the pipe next. So I'm going to give this thing a 7 out of 10. Thank you so much for watching this review. If you could subscribe, that would be lit. And I'll see you in the next one. Sorry about the wall. Comment what I should do with it. I don't want it to be white because it feels like taking a step backwards just because I associate the white background with like not knowing what the fuck I'm doing. and I associate like the black background with like, okay, these reviews are actually alright now, so yeah, this can't stay. I want to like paint something cooler, like I don't even fucking know, but it has to be like, you know, kind of subtle, like it can't be like too in your face and like to the point where you're watching the whole review and shit. But yeah, I don't fucking know, just give me ideas. Yeah, I love you, have a great day.